One of the things I really do think about Atmos is that it's harder than in stereo to play it very quietly.
Right.
And you need a certain amount of volume to sort of like excite the room. Excite the room so that you really feel it. In the sophomore year in high school, I helped form a band. There was quite a band scene in Milwaukee where I grew up. I did that through high school, and I thought, well, I'm not going to be a musician. I'm going off to Harvard. I'm going to be a serious person now. So I sold all of my instruments, and I went to Harvard. And that happened until Jonathan Richman walked in my apartment the first semester of my senior year. And so in the end, he asked Ernie and I to join the band. We actually dropped out of Harvard second semester senior year to join the Modern Lovers. And so at that point on, I go like, okay, I'm going to be a musician now. I was in the Modern Lovers, and we went through a whole thing. We ended up breaking up. I then went back to teaching at Harvard. I worked for a software development company, and I was entering graduate school for architecture when I met the Talking Heads. And fortunately, they were a little bit patient and allowed me to finish one semester, which I said my parents would kill me if I didn't at least finish one semester. And then I joined them in January of '77. It's like Apocalypse Now, I think.
Exactly.
You know?
A terrible sequel.
Yeah.
I have a great time with Jerry. We hit it off immediately when I first met him when I was working with the Heads. So yeah, we have a really good collaboration.
Actually, we kind of reconnected at the 10th anniversary of Stop Making Sense, where we mixed a few more songs. We remixed it for film because there was, I mean, the original mix of the film and the theater was a Dolby Matrix that could do quad. And now, you know, I think there was 5.1.
And we did that in Sausalito. We had a whole setup in there and mixed this up in 5.1, which is, if any band should have been spread out, it was Talking Heads. You know what I mean? They had all these parts, and just being able to get them out in other speakers. Now, Jerry told me a story about a band that he knew about that when they found out that they're going to be in 5.1, each guy wanted their own speaker.
So we basically took those mixes as our template and then figured out how do we want to use the ceiling, or how do we want to, you know, what do we need to change here, or what is the Dolby encoding process changing that we need to make an adjustment for.
Thinking about where to put things in 2 speakers is totally different than when you're thinking about putting it in 12. I consider this an audio tool, you know what I mean? I said, this is the bass trap, you know, and this stops the reflections off the side of my head. And so I was working on these Atmos mixes for Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and then somebody commented, well, how do you hear the overhead speakers when you're wearing that hat? I'm going, right.
We wanted our mixes to not lose the sense of it all being pushed and smushed together, but still with definition. Whereas some of the other mixers go for a more, like, I want it to feel like it's way over there, and it's way over there, or something like that. So they accentuate the ability to create the surround. We think that also particularly we felt that in the headphones those things don't work so well. So we had a philosophy about it. We wanted it to sort of hang together in the same way the stereo mix does, but with the enhancement of the surround.
Pretty much any headphone will work with a binaural audio feed. So the better the headphone you have at your disposal, the better the sound should be from the binaural feed, which is what consumers get, like from Apple Music and that kind of thing, and Sony 360 if it's on Tidal, those kinds of things. I brought the LCD-X, which is our most popular, and the LCD MX4, which was the one that Eric immediately gravitated towards, and Jerry found really compelling as well, until he got to the LCD-5, which then seemed to take the cake.
Listen to the tick on the bass drum. Listen to it. Now listen here. Now listen on these.
Okay.
It's a complete different tick.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this can do things with sort of mimicking the shape of your ear and what it would do for delays to have things so it kind of comes from like a little bit from like here more around to the back. And you can kind of feel that things are above you. It's not 100%, but it's a very, first of all, it's a fun new way to listen to music. This River of the Hudson is the same way.
I know, but the ground.
If you close your eyes and you listen to a well-mixed record in a room like this, you're less aware of like the music is over there, it's some speakers over there because it's all around you. You know, even like sitting in an orchestra, you know, like you close your eyes and you hear the sound of the concert room, but you still kind of are aware there's people are over there. But in this, you close your eyes and you kind of, it's inside your head. It's all around you.